Welcome to the Flag Bearer channel. This is Little Known Black History Facts. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Michael Jackson once said in a song, "If you're thinking about being my baby, it don't matter if you're black or white." The bizarre story of Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal went from being a blonde-haired white girl from Montana to becoming the president of the Spokane branch of the NAACP, and one who most people assumed was black. As long as there have been racial privilege, there have always been people seeking to run a game of the system. But that's where Rachel Dolezal sets herself apart. People generally try to pass in order to advance their life chances. Given the nature of America's racial hierarchy, improving one's lot in such a drastic manner usually involves black people passing as white, not white people heading the other way. Rachel Dolezal is a controversial figure known for misrepresenting her racial identity. She gained national attention in 2015 when it was revealed that, although she had identified as black for years, she was actually born to white parents. At the time of the revelation, Dolezal was serving as the president of the NAACP chapter in Spokane, Washington, and had been an advocate for black rights and social justice. Dolezal's case sparked widespread debate about race, identity, and cultural appropriation. Some accused her of using black identity for personal and professional gain, while others argued that her experience reflected the complexity of race as a social construct. Dolezal herself claimed that she identified as black and that her connection to the black community was genuine, despite the fact that she was biologically white. In response to the controversy, Dolezal resigned from her position at the NAACP. In today's transcultural world, where it seems that you can claim to be whoever you choose to be, it should come as no surprise to have a person claiming to belong to a race other than the one that they were birthed into. Such is the case of Rachel Dolezal, a white woman of Swedish, German, and Czechoslovakian heritage who chose to identify as a black woman but was eventually exposed as a fraud. After years of passing for black, Rachel's truth was suddenly exposed in 2015 while living in obscurity in Spokane, Washington as the head of the local chapter of the NAACP. She was forced to resign after her story was unraveled by a local news reporter who asked her point blank, "Are you African American?" Dolezal didn't have an answer. She walked out of the interview completely caught off guard. In the media frenzy that followed, Dolezal admitted that while she was born to Caucasian parents, she identified as a black woman. Dolezal insists that she is transracial, a woman who is the product of two white parents but identifies mentally, emotionally, physically, and culturally as black. Dolezal is hardly the first American to try and pass for a different race. Following the completion of high school, Dolezal attended Belhaven University in Jackson, Mississippi. While living in Mississippi, she would have a friend braid her hair. "People started responding to me differently," she says, "because it was Mississippi. White girls didn't do that. A lot of people started responding to me as if I was biologically biracial. I kinda let the chips fall where they may." She then attended Howard University in Washington, D.C., where she received a Master of Fine Arts, summa cum laude, in 2002. Her thesis at Howard was a series of paintings presented from the perspective of a black man. While a student, Dolezal met and married Kevin Moore, a black man. Moore was a medical student at Howard University. Once married, they moved to Idaho. Rachel gave birth to a son, Franklin. The marriage was not a good match. Dolezal says that her husband didn't want her to wear any black hairstyles, that he was continually questioning her as to why she was studying black history. Rachel and Kevin eventually divorced. She started returning to her black self and returning to styling her own hair and doing other people's hair as well. She says that was her personal coming out, owning who she was. By 2006, she was fully identifying as black. For years, she denied her own family, heritage, and skin color, claiming that she was a mixed-race daughter of an African-American man who had fled the South after assaulting a racist police officer. Her tremendous lies were so believable, she managed to talk herself into the president's chair of the NAACP Spokane, Washington chapter. She served on the board of a police oversight committee. Dolezal was also a teacher in the African American Studies Department at Eastern Washington University, where she taught classes on subjects like Black and African art, African American culture, and the Black woman's struggle. It was her parents, from whom she was estranged, who exposed Dolezal's true identity, launching her into a national scandal and making her the primary focus for heated conversations targeting race, identity, Blackness, cultural politics, and whether one has the right and power to choose. Local reporters contacted her parents, who made a startling claim backed up by a birth certificate and old pictures. They said their daughter's heritage was Swedish, German, Czech, and a little bit Native American, but definitely not Black. Dolezal was president of the NAACP chapter in Spokane, Washington from 2014 until June 2015, when she resigned in the midst of controversy over her racial identity. She was the subject of public scrutiny when her parents publicly stated that she was pretending to be Black but was actually white. The statement by Dolezal's parents followed Dolezal's reports to police and local news media that she had been the victim of race-related hate crimes, but a police investigation did not find support for her allegations. Dolezal had also claimed on an application form to be mixed race and had falsely claimed that an African American man was her father and that her brother was her son. In the aftermath of the controversy, Dolezal was dismissed from her position as an instructor in Africana Studies at Eastern Washington University and was removed from her post as chair of the Police Ombudsman Commission in Spokane. In 2015, Dolezal acknowledged that she was born white to white parents, but maintained that she self-identified as Black. During her childhood, Rachel Dolezal's parents began adopting Black babies, 3 from the United States and 1 from Haiti, which they claimed to have saved the children from being aborted. So, to further her ruse, the construction of her new family continued when one of her Black adopted brothers moved in with her when he was 16. She began calling herself his mother, although later she did adopt him as her son. Dolezal became a global hate figure after being outed as a race faker. Some white people painted her as mentally unstable on the grounds that no normal white person would choose to call themselves Black. But it was the wave of rage and mockery that arose from the African American community that she felt was the most hurting. She was accused of exploiting the long history of Black suffering to play the victim. The evident change in her appearance, from a girl of European heritage to a woman with elaborate braided hair extensions and a distinct tint to her skin, was portrayed as part of a long and insulting history of blackface. Within days, Dolezal lost much of what she had held dear, as the community she had championed for years turned on her. Many of her Black friends refused to talk to her, which continues even to this day. A tidal wave of condemnation resulted from her identity fraud, costing Dolezal various jobs and further fraying her relationship with her family. Endless and brutal mockery followed, leading to social, political, and financial isolation that left her virtually penniless and unable to secure work. What bothered her the most was being evicted from the good grace of the Black community. The Dolezal controversy fueled a national debate in the United States about racial identity. Since then, she has faced significant public backlash, but continues to maintain her stance on racial identity. In 2016, she legally changed her name to a Nigerian name, Nkechi Amare Diallo, which means gift of God. Dolezal's critics stated that she committed cultural appropriation and fraud. She later clarified that she still intends to use the name Rachel Dolezal as her public persona, but she changed her name to have a better chance of getting work. Until next time, if you like little-known history facts as I do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Press the bell to be notified of future uploads. Thank you for watching.